Don't touch her. The janitor who saved the CEO marble lobby of Hartwell Enterprises was silent except for the squeak of a mop. Malik, the night janitor, was used to that silence. It gave him time to think, to breathe. He'd once been an EMT, but tragedy had pulled him off that path. Cleaning floors wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough to keep him afloat. That night, as Malik emptied the last trash bin, the glass doors slid open. A woman stumbled inside, clutching her chest, pale as snow. He recognized her instantly. Victoria Hartwell, the iron-willed CEO whose name adorned the skyscraper. Her heels clattered against the marble as she collapsed. "Don't touch her," barked one of her bodyguards, rushing in behind her. They seemed paralyzed with panic. Malik dropped his mop, pushing past them. "She's going into cardiac arrest. Move." His voice carried a commanding authority that silenced the room. He dropped to his knees, checking her pulse. Weak, fading with practiced precision, Malik began CPR, his hands steady, his voice calm as he ordered one guard to call 911. Minutes felt like hours until Victoria gasped a fragile, rattling breath of life. The paramedics stormed in and rushed her away. But Victoria's fading eyes locked on Malik before they closed. 2 weeks later, Malik was called to the executive floor, expecting trouble for breaking protocol. He walked in nervously. Victoria sat behind her mahogany desk, thinner but alive. Her eyes, sharp yet softened by gratitude, met his. "They told me you saved my life," she said quietly, "and that you used to be an EMT." Malik nodded, shifting uncomfortably. "That was a long time ago." She leaned forward. "Then let me ask you, why are you mopping my floors instead of saving lives?" He opened his mouth, but couldn't find the words. Pain, loss, guilt, memories of the day he failed to save someone he loved, flooded him. Victoria didn't press. Instead, she said, "Malik, I don't believe in chance. You were meant to be there that night. I want you working for me not as a janitor, but as my personal aide, my right hand. You saved my life. Now, I'd like us to build something together." From that night on, their lives intertwined. Malik became more than her aide. He became her confidant, her protector, her partner in rebuilding not only her company's fractured culture, but their own broken pasts. And though neither of them had expected it, the janitor's desperate cry of "don't touch her" had marked the beginning of a bond that would change both of their lives forever. Don't touch her. The lobby of Hartwell Enterprises gleamed like polished ice. Marble floors, glass walls, golden light streaming down from a chandelier worth more than Malik's entire yearly salary. To the executives and visitors who walked through, it was a symbol of power. To Malik, the night janitor, it was just another floor to mop. He worked quietly, methodically. The world rarely noticed him, and that suited him fine. His past as an EMT lingered like a scar he never talked about. He had been trained to save lives until one night he couldn't save the one that mattered most. After that, he hung up his uniform and took the first job that didn't demand much of his heart. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. The collapse, the sound of frantic footsteps broke the silence. Malik turned just in time to see a woman stumble through the glass doors. Even pale, exhausted, and gasping for air, he recognized her instantly. Victoria Hartwell, CEO, billionaire, the woman whose name was carved into the building's stone. Her bodyguards rushed behind her, shouting into radios, panicked but unhelpful. Victoria clutched her chest, dropped her designer bag, and collapsed onto the cold marble. "Call an ambulance." One guard yelled, another knelt beside her but froze, unsure of what to do. Malik's mop clattered to the ground. "Don't touch her," he shouted, charging forward. The guards turned in shock. I know what she needs," Malik snapped, dropping to his knees. His voice carried the sharp, commanding tone of someone who had faced this moment before. "She's in cardiac arrest. Get me space." They moved aside instinctively. Malik's hands pressed firmly against Victoria's chest. He counted compressions under his breath, refusing to let his mind drift into fear. Airway clear, pulse weak. He gave rescue breaths, pumping life back into her. Minutes dragged like hours. Sweat beaded on his forehead. He could hear sirens closing in, and then a gasp. Her chest rose, shaky but alive. Her eyes fluttered open for the briefest moment, locking on Malik's face. She looked at him, not like a CEO, not like a woman of power, but like a soul tethered to life by his hands. Then her eyes closed again, as the paramedics burst in and took over. Malik backed away, his chest heaving. One of the guards muttered, half in disbelief, "The janitor just saved her life." The meeting 2 weeks later, Malik was summoned to the top floor. He had never been beyond the service elevator, and now he stood before towering oak doors carved with the Hartwell crest. "Go in," said an assistant. He stepped into a vast office lined with glass walls and city lights. Behind a sleek desk sat Victoria Hartwell. She was thinner, a little pale, but her presence filled the room. Her sharp eyes studied him as he shifted awkwardly on the expensive carpet. "So," she said finally, "you're the man who saved me." "I just did what anyone would have done," Malik replied. She raised an eyebrow. "Don't be modest." "My own bodyguards froze." "You didn't." Malik lowered his gaze. "I used to be an EMT, old habits." Her curiosity sharpened. "And why aren't you still one?" He hesitated. The memory clawed at him, his sister's face, the night he couldn't save her, the guilt that drowned him. His voice was low, almost breaking, because sometimes you fail, and when it's someone you love, you stop believing you're meant to save anyone. The silence hung heavy, but instead of judgment, Victoria's expression softened. "Malik," she said slowly, "I've built empires out of failure. I don't believe in chance. You were meant to be in that lobby. You were meant to be there for me." He swallowed hard. "What are you saying?" "I want you to work for me, not as a janitor, as my aide, my partner. Someone I can trust when everything else falls apart." He blinked, stunned. "You don't even know me." Her lips curved into the faintest smile. "I know you saved me when no one else could. That's enough." The partnership from that day, everything changed. Malik traded his mop for tailored suits, but he kept the same humility, the same quiet strength. He wasn't just Victoria's aide, he became her anchor. When ruthless board members circled like sharks, she leaned on Malik's calm wisdom. When panic attacks threatened to undo her recovery, his steady presence brought her peace, and in return, Victoria gave him something he thought he'd lost forever: second chance. Together, they rebuilt more than just her health and her company. They rebuilt themselves. And though neither of them had expected it, that desperate cry in the lobby, "Don't touch her," hadn't just saved her life. It had marked the beginning of a partnership that would change them both forever.